Texas this past year. USA at world competition level. No reps, no knee sleeves, no reps, no knee sleeves. 810.2 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a round of applause for Matt Sohmer. We got 3 national referees in the chair. 3 national referees. Hey man, let's go. This is 2 American records. He's looking to smash 1 shot.
Here you go, Matt.
Go.
Here you go, Matt.
Let's go. Your way, your way.
You got it.
Let's go. Bars loaded. Bars loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only 5 kilos below the open American record. He's nipping at his heels. He's nipping at his heels. Ladies and gentlemen, 821.2 pounds. Give me a round of applause for Matt Sohmer.
Here you go, Matt.
Come on, Matt. Come on now. Go. Good. Ladies and gentlemen,
Push it, push it.
the lift is good. 3 white lights.
Okay, as you can see, Matt just set an unofficial IPF junior world record, 821 in the squat, and that's raw, totally raw, no knee reps, hell no knee sleeves, and he hit an 805 deadlift. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that improved those. His bench actually went up a bit too, actually quite a bit too, but that's his weak link, and obviously that should improve, but when you're already at a world-class, world record setting level, these improvements are even more amazing. So these are huge PRs for him, and at that level already, let's talk about what he did to get better to get there. So let's preface this as Matt has, you know, balls the size of Lone Star State. He is not scared, and you know, to have that mentality is first and foremost, you know, most important when you're handling these kind of weights. I mean, that being said, I'm going to talk about some of the strategies going into this. So number one, we actually overloaded with a suit. So there's so many debates about raw suit, you know, suits, fake lifting, whatever. Doesn't matter. All we're about here is results. So, you know, my thought process was, if I'm overloading all these raw bench pressers with a slingshot, why would it be a bad idea to once every, you know, block me every 4 weeks, throw in overload squat with a suit? Clearly it works. So Matt was able to handle over 900 pounds. You know, he didn't get a real, you know, suit's going to take a huge learning curve and all that stuff, but just get up to feel over 900 pounds, squat it. And psychologically that was huge for me. He was used to that weight. You know, it's sort of funny in like business, you ever notice how like a lot of the same people, you know, they might be rich in one town, move to another town, start over there, they do well in business there. The reason is very simple. They don't know the bureaucracy of the town. They don't know those preset rules. They just get crap done. And that's what we're trying to do here, is not be, you know, adhere to any kind of bureaucracy, red tape, or so. All we care about is results. Overloading with a suit got Matt those results. Next, on squatting, you know, we increase frequency. If Matt's squatting, we're doing some sort of variation 4 times a week. So I'm not some person that's here always advocating high frequency. I've had a lot of champion squatters that only squat once a week. So, you know, that's the problem I find in the frequency debate, is so often people have they're trying to sell their own system. You know, even some so-called researchers will already have a powerlifting system they're selling, and then prove like their way of doing it somehow. You know, obviously, you know, there's some sort of vested interest there. Here, there's none. That's why I've never come out with some sort of like, you know, this is my one program, because then you're married to that and you have to let that be, you know, where I don't care. All I care about is results. So we went to a higher frequency program that feels like Matt's way more dialed in that way. Matt doesn't, if he squats not, you know, once a week, he's going to feel naked when he's on a bar. He does better with that frequent motor pattern. So squatting or some sort of variation of squat 4 times a week. With deadlifting, he only deadlifts heavy 3 times a week. It's 3 times a month. He goes, you know, 3 heavy deadlifts once a week, and then he takes a 4th week as a deload. Okay, increase upper back frequency training. I've harped on this a lot. So every single workout, Matt does some sort of upper back training. This has helped a lot with his deadlift lockout. It helped a lot, you know, feeling more stable in the squat. Actually helped his bench press go up. So I don't know where the upper limit is exactly on upper back training, but assuming you're not doing like stuff that really stresses your lower back, like bent over rows, T-bar prison rows, like things like chest supported rows, pull-ups, lat pull-downs, things of that nature. I mean, the upper limit's going to be how much time you have, the kind of thing. I mean, you get a lot done there. Okay, so lifestyle factors are next. Matt's really recommitted himself to the sport of powerlifting before. You know, be like, oh, hey, I got you know, you'd go on a cruise or something in the middle of a training cycle. Like, what the hell are you doing? You want to set a world record, and you're just, you know, going on cruises, because world champions aren't planning, you know, they're not planning they're not saying, oh yeah, I have a training cycle, I'm taking a vacation. Their vacations are planned around their training cycle. So if you want to be at the world class level, it's not like, oh yeah, got a training cycle, taking a vacation in the middle. No, you plan your vacations around your training cycle. Yeah, it's a bit of a Spartan existence, but you're trying to set a world record. You know, this is not something like everybody does. So yeah, it does. I mean, it does require some sacrifice. I don't see Ed Cohen just in the middle of a training cycle, but oh yeah, you know, I got the worlds in 6 weeks. I'm gonna, you know, do 2 weeks in Bermuda and, you know, drink Mai Tais or whatever the hell people do. Okay, and so to keep that in mind, you know, wine, women, and song is not the way to get a big powerlifting program. Or if you're south of the border, tequila, Tejano, and senoritas, that's not going to do it. You need to get your rest, and you need to plan around your vacations. Okay. Then the other thing that helped both Matt's, the final 5th point, is the other thing that helped Matt a lot, is dead squats. Okay, so those are best done with a safety bar, starting a few inches below, even like 3 to 4 inches above parallel for him, because Matt would come out of the hole a little bit before he gets stuck. So what that happens is basically when that elastic-like energy wears off, he gets that good stretch reflex, and he's going to take over. Basically, the free lunch is over at that point. You have to do it all yourself. It's like welfare reform. You're back to work, so you're going to have to take it over yourself. So keeping that in mind, you know, that's a good, that it got to that point, then Matt would have to dead squat the weight up, help transfer to his regular squats. Also, a great exercise for deadlift strength. You know, if you're doing it primarily for deadlift, you can obviously make it more mimic your stance. If you're going sumo, you go wider in your sumo stance, closer, and more narrow stance. So this is what helped Matt get to the next level in a squat and deadlift, and so you can apply these points to you. So, think about it. You may want to try, because obviously you're happy for Matt and you like watching the video, but ultimately this is what can you do for me. And remember, I'm here to serve you. So the way I can serve you is think about doing some squats in a suit sometime to overload. Look at your frequency. I'm not saying high frequency. Hell, there's people who have set world records squatting every 2 weeks. Other people are squatting, every single day, a couple times a day. There's been success both ways. I think the key there, one thing to remember is, the more high bar, the more upright your stance here is, the more you're going to do better with a high frequency training generally. So an Olympic style squatter can get away with more of like a really low bar, way bent over powerlifter. But you need to find out what works for you. So I'm not in favor or not. I don't care about frequency. I care about results. So if we're in a squat, 7 days a week and it's getting it done, that's awesome. If you can make better gains or the same gains in 1 day a week, even better. Okay, upper back frequency. You can increase the frequency of your upper back training. Again, no one, the upper limits will be tough to find, but if it's a weakness, you can train it pretty much every single day. Obviously, some days you want to be going like balls out to you peak drop sets type of thing every single day, but even a good way to increase any lagging muscle group like that is just, so every time you train, so say 1 day we primarily focus on it, every other day you train, just do 1 exercises for 3 or 4 sets, short rest, but even do in between like exercises. So do it like a staggered set where you're doing something else, do something that won't interfere with that exercise for your upper back when you're trying to train. Okay, lifestyle factors. Tejano, tequila, and senoritas ain't gonna get your powerlifting total to the best. So there is sacrifice involved here. That's just the fact of the matter. Finally, dead squats. Dead squats can help you squat more and bench more. And I'm gonna give you, some advice here. Only do these for singles. You start doing multiple repetitions, then it becomes a different lift because you're introducing the stretch shortening cycle at that point, and that is not what you want to do. You do not want to introduce the stretch shortening cycle. You're trying to get rid of it so you can lift the weight up all concentrically yourself. Okay, there's only one advantage a tall man has while squatting. That advantage is a longer eccentric. So the taller you, we say 1 to 2 inches for a normal person. If you're like normal height, you're like 6'4", you might want to go more 3 to 4 inches because you have that advantage of the longer eccentric. So you're gonna get more elastic-like energy out of the bottom and probably get stuck a little bit later. So here's to you, a bigger squat and a bigger deadlift.